They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. I say the definition of a Runescape player is doing the same thing over and over, knowing exactly what that result is going to be, but praying the RNG gods have you in favor this time. This is the only game where clicking a rock for 100 hours is normal. Why do we do it? I think a big part of the reason that we spend so much time grinding these skills is because of the others that have come before us and achieved the same things. We see the goals that they've set out for themselves and the goals that have been set by the people that created the game, and we understand how large of an undertaking this is and what it means to get to the end, and we respect that, and we want to replicate that. I think we understand that the mental fortitude it takes is not for everybody. It's not for your normal everyday gamer to click on the same rock for 100 hours. But when you finally get to the end and you see that 99 or you see that piece of gear that you've been grinding for this whole time, it may be more rewarding than any other game that I've played. They've done an excellent job of keeping you engaged at every single turn, as long as you are looking. The life from episode 1 was ended by pure arrogance. Truly, I just didn't respect the game enough. I was hungry to move on with content before I was ready. I didn't think about the mechanics. I didn't think about the risks. I just saw something I wanted and went for it, without calculating what that could do to my account. What's even worse is I didn't really respect the death either. I just kind of rebooted, started a second account, got the Hardcore Ironman back, and went straight back to grinding. And that's kind of where I fell asleep at the wheel. That's where I realized that I was the problem. It wasn't the game, it wasn't a lack of things to do, it wasn't the game being too hard, I simply just wasn't respecting the game. I wasn't playing the game the way that the game was meant to be played. I was just kind of casually doing what I felt like doing, instead of making sure that I took the gravity of the Hardcore Ironman into account. It was honestly embarrassing. I was in the middle of a stream, and when I died the first time, I could accept that I made a mistake, I was being dumb, and I paid the price for it. But my second life, I looked over at my second monitor for 2 seconds, and next thing you know, I was killed by a barbarian. Just a simple barbarian, one of the lowest level enemies in the entire game. When I lost that second account, I logged out pretty quick. I was streaming, I was embarrassed, and I had to get off. A lot of people have asked me why I didn't just continue on with one of those accounts as an Ironman, and honestly that's because hardcore is the reason I'm playing old school RuneScape. I've played a ton of RuneScape 3, and I was looking for a new challenge and something different, and hardcore was what really drew me in about old school. When I woke up on the third day after losing my first and second Hardcore Ironman accounts, I didn't think that I was going to have the urge to play the game like I did, but there was something clawing inside of me. There was something just screaming, saying, Toke, you have to play. You need to go log in, create the third character, and start right now. There's a sense of determination. It's not something that I feel like I can give up on. If I'm going to play the game, I feel like I have to play it as a Hardcore Ironman. That's the way the game was meant to be played. One life, and that's it. If you lose it, you start back at the beginning. I was taking this third life a lot more seriously, but that also came with some caveats. I was playing a lot more safely, a lot more scared. I was also feeling a lot more scared. Something about seeing Death's office that is absolutely terrifying. And unless I'm there for some sort of task or quest, I don't want to see him again. I couldn't let all these newfound fears keep me from achieving my goals though. I spent a lot of time in the cow pens. In fact, I almost feel like I could smell the manure and the leather and the hatred. Every defense level, every strength level, every attack level, it's not just a safety net. We are over preparing so that we make sure in the long run we don't ever have to come back and do these things again. People say that this is the boring content, this is the stuff that you want to skip over, but this is the stuff that builds the account. Without this core beginning gameplay, what do you have to show for it whenever you kill a boss later on? If I just go and do one quest and get all these levels, do I really deserve to have defeated the boss? Do I deserve to have that dragon's head mounted on my wall? Every single scrap that you find on the ground, every piece of jewelry, every single rune, every bone is the most valuable piece of equipment that you will find. I don't think that's the case on a membership world. I don't think a membership world gives you the same feeling of these are the only items that we get. These are the only things keeping us progressing, keeping us alive, keeping us moving towards our goals. I feel like membership gives you a lot more options to do those things. But are options what we're really looking for? Do we want the easy way out? Or are we looking for a sense of accomplishment? Are we looking to have achieved something? I wanted to find every little nook and cranny and say, yes, I've seen that. I loved it. I want that experience with old school RuneScape. And I will not be satisfied if that's not the case. A regular Ironman will not do it. I love the Jagex holidays. I know a lot of people give them a hard time because sometimes they reuse content or things seem a little bit lazy or they don't give us great rewards. But at the end of the day, it's fun, silly content. And why are we playing the game if not to have fun? If we're just going to spend all day hitting rocks, why don't we just go get a job hitting rocks? There needs to be some sort of balance between the enjoyability of the game and the rewards that the grind gives you. If we're just going to grind rewards, we may as well do doing that in real life. It's the joy from the silliness from the world of Gielinor itself. That's why we're there, and I think the holiday events really bring that out. I think it's important to remember that games are about fun. A lot of times we really do focus too much on getting the levels and doing the work, beating the bosses and getting the gold. And especially with Jagex games, there's always so much goofy, fun stuff happening in the world, and it was nice to sit back and take that in a little bit. And I don't think it's so much a game problem as much as it is an us problem. I think we're looking for that quick hit, we're looking for something to satisfy, and personally, I want to change that. I don't think I'm going to be getting membership on this account. At least not until we've achieved our goal of defeating Dragon Slayer. So you're probably asking yourself, what comes next? Where do we go from here? And to be 100% honest, I don't know. I'm not following a guide. I haven't checked the wiki. I don't really know where we go from here. But we have a goal, and I'm excited to get there any way we can. By this time next year, when we're 52 episodes in, and hopefully we've killed the dragon, I want to look back on this episode right now, the start of this third account, and be amazed at how far we've come. If you would like to continue with me on this journey, please like and subscribe. And from the Late Night Toke, stay toasty.